Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we'll be playing Cyberpunk 2077. Set in the year 2077, where Elon Musk gave us robo-limbs and AI girlfriends are more common than ever. But today I have a challenge that was one of the most difficult ones I've done so far on this channel. Can you beat Cyberpunk 2077 with only starting gear? The rules for this are simple. I can only use the starter weapons such as the common pistol, grenade mod, and the cybernetics you get at the beginning of the game, because I forgot to remove them. Secondly, I can use my ability points, but only when something is too challenging to get past normally. And lastly is to have fun. Is it even possible to beat Oda when he can literally heal himself? Or Adam Smasher with his quick moveset and explosive attacks? Let's find out. The run starts by making my character, and I try to make him as ugly as possible. Compensate for something. Chose a hard difficulty and decided to go for the corpo option because I wanted a nice and relaxing intro. Man. After sitting through a nothing burger of an intro, skipping through all the dialogue as fast as possible, me and Jackie got interrupted by some Arasaka guards.
Maybe.
What a great conversation I'm having. Oh, hello. Pretty much here to take a shard, and then they fired me, sending me straight for the streets. One time skip later, we got a job to save some lady. We got up there and I had the option for stealth, but that's pretty boring for you guys and myself. So I started to shoot up the place. Well, try to shoot up the place, because my gun only really tickled them, while their guns were making me into Swiss cheese. But after clearing out all the rooms, and a high-calorie man, I got to the lady that we were supposed to save and called Trauma Team to come pick her up.
5 steps back, now.
But I got a little curious, so what would happen if I got too close? So like Icarus, I got tased. Half a drive later, we get jumped, but they suck at driving, so they crash, so really no problem. Did it. After a good night's rest with some music on,
That's my good boy.
I met up with Jackie, telling me that we had a new job. I met up with Dexter, a very high-calorie man as well, and he explained how me and Jackie have a business deal with the Maelstrom, a psychopathic group that looked like their cybernetics were put in with dirty tools. Why we're doing this is to buy illegally obtained military equipment that would help us in a later job.
Prototype.
When me and Jackie pulled up, I walked in there trying to go for the diplomatic route. We got to the deal, everything was going well.
Could lose your lunch.
Until Roy showed up, and then things turned south quickly.
I don't see any fucking brick around here, do you?
Wow, yeah. So obviously just blew his brains out. Okay. These guys could tank about a magazine worth of bullets before they even go down. Maybe because they're half metal, but still. I run through each room, almost dying at some points. Oh crap. But my plan was to try to stay further back, because if I got too close, that's a one-way trip to the last checkpoint. The pixel peak right there. Okay. We escaped with the drone, making us ready for the next heist. Why do I always have to follow Jackie? This guy's the slowest guy ever. He's built like a tank. Oh, I guess that would make sense. Because, like, tanks don't move that fast. We go to Lizzie's bar to meet up with Dexter to talk about the heist. And pretty much me and Jackie were meant to sneak into the Arasaka building and steal a relic they had. And thanks to the robot that we kindly asked for, we got into the room in no time. But it seems like the two heads of Arasaka were having a divorce, and we were the kids in the middle of it. Because Yorinobu got greedy with power and wasn't happy with what he had. So he strangled his father and blamed it on poisoning.
Saburo Arasaka has been murdered.
Code Red initiated. Attention. Code Red has been initiated throughout Kenpeki Plaza.
Even though his neck would probably bruise over time, but we're gonna skip over that. The whole building went on to lockdown. If we didn't get out there quickly, we'd be walking around with new holes. But the only choices are being shot or arrested. We made the split decision to drop Loot Lake, breaking the relic that we just stole.
Biochip integrity at 94%. Fucking drop it. Carajo.
But Jackie wanted that bag, so he inserted the relic into his USB port. Now that the lockdown was happening, Arasaka's security was on high alert. But because I hate rational thinking, I thought punching would do more damage than a gun. But it surprisingly worked. I was giving these goons the dick twist with ease. Even the elite bodyguards weren't safe from these hands. Following a 10-second scene of Adam Smasher shivering our timbers, we escaped nearly scathed. But we weren't safe yet. We were followed by some Arasaka drones, which their drones are not that hard. I shot them down. But hey, we got the job done. Now we can sit back and relax. No! Because unfortunately, Jackie did not make it. And before he died, he gave me the relic and said to move on without him.
For me.
I sent him off to his family for a proper sending off, and we met back up with Dexter. Told me to wash up, and then we could talk. We meant talking by shooting my brains out, then yeah, talking.
No blaze of glory for me.
I suddenly dreamt about Johnny Silverhand and his mission to blow up the Arasaka building. Running in here guns blazing made me realize how easy it is to blow everybody. And I mean blow everybody's head off. And they're dead. I planted the bombs, terrorists swim. But Johnny Boy was kidnapped to be experimented on. Despite my weird dream, I wasn't gonna let a little conundrum like this stop me. By my luck, I somehow survived. And a random person came to help me from this dump. You get it? Because it's a literal dump? Yes, dude, I got the joke, okay? Shut the fuck up! I'm not gonna lie, this driving segment was a piece of cake. There was only really one point where I almost soiled my britches, but the hardest part was that the camera kept jerking away from what I was actually trying to shoot at. We ran into a pole, the random guy gets me to a ripper dock, and Victor tries to help me as much as he can. But tells me when the bullet went through my skull, the chip started to repair the damage, but it started to take over my mind, which I only have a few weeks tops to fix this. After some much needed rest, I woke to the sexiest man alive, Keanu Reeves.
You're breathtaking.
AKA Johnny Silverhand. Apparently his conscience was on that chip, and I didn't mind seeing him really, but he was the opposite.
Who you work for, start talking.
And I knew that I needed to get this chip out quickly. So I meet up with the guy and learn that his name is Takamura,
Here, no shit, Sherlock.
and how he only helped me get out of the dump is to track down Yorinobu and get revenge for what he's done.
You digging in me. You digging in a nigga.
He also tells me that he's looking for a woman named Evelyn and to start at a place called Lizzie's Bar. So I go there.
Disorderly conduct reported in Watts.
So I walk into there and I meet up with Judy.
You just don't give up, do you?
Listen, have you seen Evelyn? Need to talk to her. It's important.
Why? So you can make her your scapegoat for your train wreck of a heist.
Ooh, I have that.
Need to find out who she was working for.
Which told me that Evelyn was at a place called Clouds. I get to the place and they ask me to do a compatibility test, which I was not paying attention to, so I picked Angel not knowing it was a dude. So I interrogated him and he told me to go to the VIP area. Which when they took my weapons, they forgot one. And it's these hands. Yeah, so that didn't really work out. But I found a better solution. I just knocked out a guard and took his key. Be in the corner. I found a different worker in one of the bedroom areas. I'm starting to see a theme here. Interrogated him and he told me about a man named Woodman and how he might know. I sneak into Woodman's office on the second try. Whoa! In there, he's not gonna be mad at all. Hold on.
Why? No.
And he used the corpo intro to my advantage and scare him into telling me where Evelyn is.
But go on. I'm listening.
You sit here in this dank hole you probably call your office and think you've got it made, don't you?
Congrats! You read minds better than our own fucking AI.
Tiger Claw bosses have got their own bosses, in case you didn't know. You're just too small to see them.
Oh, 'cause you're such a big shot.
Let's just say a certain member of the Arasaka clan wouldn't be pleased if he knew something bad happened to Evelyn, and that you're the one responsible.
All right, fine. I'll lay it on you straight. I found a Ripper doc who was willing to take a look.
That's a dumb bit.
Said he knew something or other.
The Ripper. Name and address.
Goes by fingers. Clinic's in some godforsaken alley up on Jig Jig Street. Want to find Evelyn? Look there.
But yeah, after I leave, I have an aneurysm or something. Whoa. What a matrix. Oh, never mind, I'm dying.
You had a plan, you tried, it fell flat. Now you're flat. Don't look in any condition to find help.
Come on.
Ah, fuck!
Not fine. Uh-oh.
The hell's that?
And when Johnny was talking to me, I was just talking about the bucket that he was sitting on for some reason.
It's all going too slow.
How did he get? He did.
Gonna decommission before we learn how to rip the chip out.
How did he pick up that bucket? Or
Said so yourself.
did V imagine
Made
a
it
bucket
pretty
with him?
clear since that I changed
With
my
the D.
mind.
Imagine a bucket.
Want you to live now.
I had to Jig Jig Street with Judy, and I get some info from a man that looks like a failed abortion. After me and Judy talk about the dead-end leads we had, she had a theory. A game theory. She thought that the illegal brain dance salesman would have the brain dance that we need to track down Evelyn. And her hunch was right. So we head to the place faster than the US could bomb a third world country and go to rescue her. When I got there, getting inside was probably the easiest part of it all, because I could just keep my distance and use the cars for cover. But inside, I did not have that pleasure. What did give me pleasure were the doors that the NPCs couldn't use for some reason. So every time I got a little low in health, I could just hide and let the enemies shoot up Judy instead. After a few more close calls and a lot of waiting, we eventually find Evelyn. And unplugging her might have made her a vegetable, but it's better than leaving her in this dungeon. Made sure to get her to safety, and Judy was able to look around her melon to see if she knew any information about the chip. But it turns out that she was working with the Voodoo Boys, so I'd have to go down there and have a chat. After arriving in Pacifica, I go through a scripted orientation, word of the day. I met up with Placide, saying that he'll get in contact with his boss, the leader of the Voodoo Boys, if I do him a little favor first. Pretty much what he wanted me to do is to get rid of some meatheads from this mall, which when I arrived, I knew I was going to get beaten to a pulp. And I did. It like blitzes to the right. How did I even die? So I tried to sneak in there, Solid Snake style. Getting into the place took me a few tries, and I got caught many times. You can't even say my name as the memories go. But I eventually got to the boss fight, and after my first try, I could tell that my attacks were barely leaving a dent, and she was leaving me with little to no health. I'm trying. One wrong move would make the difference between life and Pound Town with a 10-incher. But I had a brain blast, which I used my ability points to get the dash and painkillers abilities, and some other doohickeys too. I don't know what that means. If you were in it to win it, aka the hit 2007 cheerleader movie going by the same name, after you dodge a few of her attacks, she would throw her hammer at you. After you take it, she resorts to fisting, but not the good kind, sadly. One of her moves makes her stop moving for a bit of time, which I took advantage of. I was also moving like the scout from TF2 because I was running circles around her, slowly chipping away from her healing machine thingamabob, which heals her. What? So it took like an hour to beat her because I have a physical skill issue and a mental issue. I did take her down with some patience and dexterity. Another word of the day. I respect my foe with much gratitude, and I confront the officer, but Placide was a liar pants on fire, because he wanted me to get close to the Net Watch officer to let out a deadly virus to kill all the operatives in one fell swoop. Literally no one didn't expect this, but I played along with their game, and went back expecting my meat. Bridget pretty much said that Chip was taking over my mind, something everyone already knew. She said for some of Johnny's info in Alt Cunningham, she would stabilize or even remove the chip. I'll partake in the very quirky ice bath challenge, something mainly white people or children YouTubers do. Got hooked up and went under. If you want the story beats of this mission, pretty much Johnny, like Chuck Norris, is just too cool to die. You can't blame me, both of these guys are kinda sexy. In addition, Alt Cunningham was Johnny's lover and the best net writer in Night City. Arasaka kidnapped her and uploaded her conscience to their database. She told Johnny and I that if we get close to Arasaka, she could separate us. I snapped back to reality and the Voodoo Boys let me leave. So I did. And a motorcycle, but it reminds me of a mango. So it's okay. I like mangoes. I still had to do Takamura's mission in Chinatown. Apparently, we're meeting up with Hanako Arasaka's bodyguard to somehow make him get a meeting with Hanako. Obviously, he doesn't let us, seeing how we're a bunch of criminals to him. But he said that he would rather put a pineapple up his butt, horizontal-wise, than to give up. So then I go to Jig Street to talk to some old lady.
Happen to be working together. That's all.
Stuck.
Takemura Goro desu.
And we talk about the plan to kidnap Hanako. And then I go to the afterlife and spend 15 bands just to talk about stealing a transport thingy. And then I go to the outskirts of the city to talk to Vanna. Nice. But she won't help until I help her with getting her car back, so we just leave the city to do it. And this whole thing was just me going A to B over and over, dude. This sucks! Yeah, anyways. She sets up the trap while I wait on the roof for these goons to show up, just for my butt to get clapped by them. And not only that, they are outnumbering me, and had more artillery than my slingshot of a gun. They also had grenades for days, and different flavors of them too. Another thing is, somehow they were ready for me every time I would shoot. Also, I had the nastiest pixel peek ever. The only way I was able to do this was patience. Oh yeah, and a lot of grenades as well. After the fight, we would get back in the car, and I'm not gonna lie, I skipped over all the dialogue. I have no clue why we're going to this cave, but we went to one. Going down here into the trenches, or should I say caves, was a pain in my butt, but I just did exactly what I've been doing for every mission I've been on to. Just going to a secluded area and spending a ridiculous amount of time chipping away at the bad guy's health, and dying a lot. After getting Panam's dirty work done, we get back to doing the thing that we were doing before doing this, and the engineer we were looking for was out of reach on a transport thingamabob. So the obvious option was to shoot it down with a rocket, and that was persuasive enough for them to come crashing down. We go to the crash site, and this mission went as well as you expected. Tinier robots were easy, alright? But these bigger drones absolutely clapped me. What was that? But I found a solution. I hid behind a rock, and I got some more pixel peeks in. And boom, that easy. But at the gas station, I hid behind an electrical box and took out sentries, then took out people not in groups. We knock out Hellman and take him to a nearby hotel to interrogate him. While he was talking, I realized that he looks like Oni Pixel, but blonde for some reason. I don't know why, I just see it. He pretty much said that Johnny was slowly taking over my mind, just like the last two people said, and I leave letting Takamura ask his own questions. Oh, no. And now we need to meet up with Takamura for his mission, so I go to Japantown, or should I say, my homeland.
Stay with me, my own
But yeah, his plan was for me to take out the snipers while he figures out a way onto Hanako's float to talk to her privately. But we first need to sneak into an Arasaka industrial park to put a virus onto a float, turn off security, so he could get on there. With a lot of words. So obviously I tried to shoot up the place. It didn't work. Dude, like dude. So I actually tried to sneak into the place, avoiding every guard. I snuck into the building and I put the virus in the thingamabob, and then I left.
Float's ours to do with as we do.
That sounded horrible.
Now we retreat into the shadows and arm ourselves with
That was a lot taller than I thought.
I will contact.
But now we can actually do Takamura's mission. Whoa! We talk about the plan again, blah blah blah, kill 3 snipers and a net runner or something. And then it was game day, baby. Let's go. Woo! Okay, I'm not doing that game. Taking out the first 2 snipers was a piece of cake. But the 3rd sniper was the fat person that broke the camel's back. Like your mother. Did this mission temper me enough to survive this? All I can say is, I wish the answer was yes. Trying to shoot these guys with my Weenie Hut Jr. of a gun barely did any damage to these guards. Especially this guy, because his sole purpose was to run you down so hard it looked like a hate crime. Run away, run away. Every gunfight I got into either ended in a loading screen or leaving me with a sliver of health. I get to the final sniper, but I somehow don't see any of the mines everywhere. So I step on one, nearly killing me. Then drones fly in, finishing me off. Making me go to the last checkpoint, which was a decent ways back. And then I killed him. But this hell wasn't over yet, because we still had one thing to deal with. I unplugged the net rudder from its power source, and Oda arrives here to stop our tomfoolery. To summarize this fight, Oda was hungry, and my cheeks were the only thing on the menu for him. Good thing there's plenty. With this sheer speed, he could dice me up like Gordon Ramsay before I could even react. Oh my gosh, I got stuck on him. And my super squirter of a gun did barely any damage, while he took out half my health with one combo. And to make things better, I ran out of ammo eventually, so I had to fist only this boss. But to make this fight a little easier for me, I came into this with a few more perks, mainly the dash and painkiller abilities. Once again, dash, which is pretty self-explanatory, replaces your dodge with a dash, being essential for movement in this fight. And painkillers, which slowly heals me over time. These two, I was dodging and hitting Oda like prime Mike Tyson. Oosh, oosh. Oosh, oosh. Somebody call the Costco guys, because after 18 minutes of punching this dude, he came down with 5 big booms. Boom! 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 And if shooter games taught me anything, is that I suck at them. And I gotta leave my enemy with some man stench on him. After running off into the elevator, I find out that our plan was a success. Hanako was kidnapped, and it was time to fill her ear holes with the truth about her father. While laying everything out on the metaphorical table, Arasaka goons show up to kidnap the person that we just kidnapped. But as the heroic person that I am, I ditched Takamura and ran out of there. But I didn't get too far before passing out and facing through a car.
Okay. You fucking dare float off. Not now.
Because I parked there before walking in. They don't find a very suspiciously placed car in front of the very suspiciously looking place. Some time passes and Johnny Boy over here brought me to the outskirts of the city in some motel. And we get a visitor, a messenger for Hanako. She offers to remove this goober from my head if I help her get revenge on her brother. This was a bold offer, but I've been bolder with my homeboys than this, so I agree to meet up with her. She tells me to meet her at a very high-end restaurant or something like that. I wasn't paying attention really. And we discussed a plan of breaking into Arasaka building. Pretty much I'm going to be sneaking into a meeting with a bunch of important people and tell them what really happened. Oh, take a drink. Yeah, absolutely nothing. Just chug down some whiskey. Waiter! Oh, waiter!
Sounds like dirty laundry.
Waiter!
Why should I get involved?
Was a SpongeBob reference right
already
there,
are.
if anyone knows that.
You willed it so.
And Johnny was on his usually rant about Arasaka, blah blah blah.
You catch a whiff of that? Smells like shit. Careful not to step in it.
He must be made to take responsibility.
Then our meeting was cut short because I was having an aneurysm. And then I passed out again.
It's her.
Hey, great, you checking out again?
Waking up in Victor's chair, he pretty much tells me, hey man, you need to get this junk out of your head or you're dead. That rhymed. I took my schizo pills and I head to the roof, talking to Misty and Johnny about some junk. I wasn't really paying attention again. And then Hanako called me, pretty much saying that someone will come and pick me up, Hellman. And I'll be going to her residence to confront her brother with her. But that was a lot easier said than done because her whole house was on lockdown. So obviously just crushed the guard's skull in.
No.
Kadosh! Now that I was actually inside the compound, I could see how this place was armed to the teeth. Luckily, they didn't see Planet of the Apes, specifically the first one. Absolute gem of a movie, by the way. But back on track. These guards cannot stay in a group more than 3 people most of the time, so they're pretty easy to take out. And all the people that were alone were pretty easy as well. Ooh, sit, bro. Sit down, boy. Sit. And I just threw grenades at the mech looking thing until it went down as well. I meet up with Hanako in like some bedroom meeting area or something. I don't know. And we drove into the Arasaka landing area inside the building. Anime pun intended. Me and Hanako run into the meeting with Sabaru's consciousness with us. That we kind of just walked into a room and stole. Pretty much saying, "Hud, listen to her." Hey, listen to her, she's right. So everyone actually listened to us, and Yorinobu doesn't like this, so he puts the building on protocol and sends the guards after us. But they weren't really that hard, because all the guards around would shoot at them instead of me. So I didn't really have to do anything, except for I had to deal with 2 fat dudes. Woo! There's 2 of them! After about a minute of playing Ring Around the Rosie with these fat dudes, I got into an elevator, and I was going through these guards like what Crazy Dave did to his taco. And this was made a lot easier by how I had guards up here with me, just like downstairs. Not very durable guards, but help nonetheless. No! Oh my gosh, he broke his knee too. In the mech, I just ran away from it and got to the next elevator. But this ride was when the milk turned sour on this run. Because I was trapped in a very small area with enemies facing me in every direction. But the game was so generous, you know? It gave me 4 turrets. But they did about an ant's dick worth of damage to them and got destroyed really quick. I spent about a half hour on this part alone and died about 4 times. After that little hiccup, I meet with the big Borg himself, Adam Smasher, here to turn me into ground beef. But this was probably the autism coming in, because I decided to try to kill him by only punching him. Another thing is, in some endings of the game, Adam Smasher would automatically have 20% of his health gone. But I didn't choose that ending, so it took a lot longer. Long things never stopped me before. So after learning his moveset and dying about twice, I turned into the metaphorical reader, and I was flipping through these metaphorical pages, which was his robo-rectum, for how easy this boss fight turned into. After about an hour of punching, shooting, and needing to delete my favorite game because of storage, I finally beat Adam Smasher. Or should I say, Adam Smashed. That joke sucks. Now you may think I gave my body to Johnny, but he was really just a zip file in my brain, so I'd rather just keep my body, leaving him in the cloud with Alt Cunningham. So, was it possible to beat Cyberpunk 2077 with only your starting gear? Yes, it is. I hope you enjoyed this video. I put a lot of time and effort into this. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, and maybe even a subscribe. And remember, you're very beautiful, and I love you all, especially my 97% men viewers. But that's all. Bye-bye.